Pond Offs Anonymous is brought to you in part by McKelvey Insurance. Let's be honest, insurance sucks until you need it. That's why I fuck with McKelvey Insurance. These folks aren't just slinging quotes like robots. They're actual humans who solve real problems. Whether it's personal or commercial insurance, McKelvey works with over 30 companies to make sure you've got the best coverage at the best price without the bullshit. You're not just a number to them. They build real relationships. So when life changes, or your rates do, they've got your back. They'll shop around again and again to make sure you stay protected without ever overpaying. Call or text 618-623-0080 or hit up McKelveyINS.com. That's McKelvey, McKelveyINS.com. McKelvey Insurance. Quick solutions to real-life insurance problems anywhere in Illinois or Missouri. Guys, let me tell you about my good friends at LightSource. LightSource Psychotherapy in Belleville, Illinois is a small group practice committed to providing individual, group, and family therapy, as well as clinical and reflective supervision to those in the helping field. Check them out at findyourlightsource.com. They're the best in the business, my friends. I know them personally and well enough to tell you and put my name and word on it. If you're struggling with mental health, family issues, addiction, grief, you name it, give my friends Chaz and Holly a call. Their private practice is life-saving, and they will help you find your light.
This week, we are taking a break from recording and giving you a bonus episode. We're pumped to share with you a conversation we had with Jeff Stevens, creator of WellBeing Beer, a non-alcoholic product that is fantastic and enjoyed by the sober and non-sober alike. Enjoy the episode, and we will see you next week.
Just know that I'm here.
What's up, guys? How are you doing, Jeff?
Hey, which Jeff?
Oh, yeah, there's two Jeffs on.
Double Jeff here today.
Yeah,
We got two Jeffs. This is easy for me.
that's right.
Unlucky 13, the episode 13. Sorry to put you on the spot.
Wow.
Lucky.
We're already starting off.
Yeah.
It's
Which way?
ominous.
We've got to 13. We haven't been canceled yet by cancel culture. But this could be it. And this is the week of Friday the 13th.
It
is.
That's right.
Are you guys superstitious?
I'm not.
I haven't changed underpants in like 3 days. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah, no, I'm not either.
All right.
I'm okay. I'm kind of excited for Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Never throws me off or anything.
All right.
Sounds
Well, without, further ado, again,
Yeah.
we have a guest, our fourth guest.
Nice.
And it is Jeff Stevens.
Yep.
Jeff is the founder of WellBeing Brewing,
That's correct.
and located out of out of Maryland Heights, Missouri, St. Louis.
Yep.
Jeff Allen, producer, the liberal, has a connection with friends of friends, and
Yep.
said, "Hey, Chris, we got to get this guy on. His name's Jeff. He's killing it in the NA beer world."
Yep.
Yeah.
And we were talking. I'm like, "Yeah, shoot him an email. Let's, that's huge. That's huge." And kind of like, I mean, I don't know if we're not getting bigger, but we're having guests with some oomph behind them
Ooh.
now,
Yeah.
which is exciting, fucking nerve-wracking, but mostly exciting. And then I get to talking with a cousin of mine who we've talked before, owns Olive and Oak
Oh, yeah.
in Webster Groves.
Yeah.
And before I could even say anything, the other night I was up there, and Mark approached me, my cousin, and said, "Man, you should reach out to the guys at WellBeing." I'm like,
Oh.
fucking already done.
You're like-
What are you hacked into my email?
Exactly. It's coming
And
on
yeah,
already.
and here we are. So this is exciting. Today I want to hear Jeff's story. I want to share it with all you guys that are listening, and hear his take on the NA
Yeah.
beer world and recovery and where the rubber meets the road for having NA beers, if you're comfortable with it, and still like enjoying life, but sober without a hangover, right, Jeff?
That's exactly right. So we walked in, and you said you had not tried this yet, in your recovery?
I have not.
Okay.
No, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah. And there's obviously a reason. You've obviously given it some thought.
I told Jeff, I said, why fuck around with NA beer when it all tastes like shit?
So it's more of it's not that you're afraid of relapse. It's more
Not
of
so
a-
much.
okay.
If there was an NA whiskey, I'd probably avoid it like the plague. Because that was my thing.
Okay. So if it's your thing, and it was the thing that could trigger you,
I think, yeah.
yeah. So, but beer you don't have as much fear of.
No, and I've had, like, kidding around, I would have, like, a Bush. I've tried Bush NA,
Sure.
and I've tried, what is it, Old Duels,
Yeah.
and they taste like shit. I
They
think
do.
there was, like, a Mick NA, maybe.
Yep.
But
You ever had the Coors? I've tried the Coors.
right, I haven't, but I'm sure it tastes like piss.
It tastes like the Anheuser-Busch brewery smells. That's what it tastes like.
Interesting.
No, it's funny. For years, and I only know this now that I'm in the business, so I've kind of heard the history of this. For years, those products were purely corporate social responsibility plays that they put out there to act like good corporate citizens.
Wow,
And
I didn't know
that's-
that.
So they didn't care if the beer was good, and the whole point of that was to make the least expensive beer they could make. So the beer was never good. And really, it is alarming. O'Doul's, and I don't know if they've fixed it since the last time I had it, but it's strange how not good that product is for as big a brand is,
Right.
within the space.
It's probably the first beer I think of
Yeah.
when somebody says an NA is an
Yeah.
Old Duels, and it could
Sure.
be because an uncle tried to drink it.
Well,
and
and it's we're in St. Louis, and it is everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the one that at most restaurants will buy it, and everyone will just put it on their menu and
Right,
not
right.
think about it. So it's out there for sure. So when we started, that was like we just had to make a beer that was slightly better than O'Doul's. But it turns out when you get into brewing non-alcoholic beer and the craft of it all, that I was a lifelong non-drinker. I've been in recovery since I was 24.
Congratulations.
I've been out. I was in the industry for a long time, so I completely understood what it's like to go out as someone who doesn't drink, and then here's your 3 choices. Why, here's your 5,000 choices if you do
Right.
drink.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Persecuted sober.
Yeah.
Right? You're kind of like that.
Uh-huh.
You
Oh,
feel like
I mean,
an
I-
afterthought, right?
I'm a club soda guy.
Okay.
So
you got to figure that out, right?
Uh-huh.
If you're going to go out, you got to figure out what your drink is.
yeah, right.
What are you going to order?
Luckily
Club soda
enough,
wine.
it's a Topo Chico at Olive & Oak, which I
Nice.
really enjoy. But and maybe going back to your first question, that club soda for me,
Mm-hmm.
it is like an NA whiskey because I used to splash up whiskey with club soda.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not really a trigger if I were to drink NA beer.
Yeah.
It's really because the rest of the NA beer tastes
Sounds
like
very
shit.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because when I first got into recovery, the biggest thing you are totally scared of is I'm not going to have fun anymore. The fun in my life is over, and I was 24, and I was like, this sucks. And,
Right.
You're super bummed. And I had kind of bounced around because I was so afraid of this. And my first sponsor took me out the next night, my first real night of whatever. He's like, let's go out, and we drank NA beers and shot pool. And for some reason, you're shake, you know what's going on, but the NA beers were fine. They were great. They had bubbles in them, and they were whatever.
Right.
They were
Yeah.
cold. And we shot pool, and we laughed, and I was like, after that night, I kind of was like, oh, it's going to be okay. It's like, I'm going to be
The
able
world
to...
didn't end.
World didn't end. We had some fun.
I'm so
And-
glad you're saying this.
Yeah, and so for me, NA beer was just a tool I used in early recovery because I was 24. You're gonna go out.
You have to. Right.
You're not
You
gonna
can't
stay
harm it.
inside.
Uh-huh.
Right. Just because you got a lot of things you want to do, and I loved live music, and so I always drank NA beers for a long time. I was it was just
You're a social guy, right?
right.
Yeah.
You just have them in your hand, and you can't drink Cokes all night because they have caffeine and sugar, and you just realize all these things you would drink,
right.
are full of something, and NA beer has nothing in it. It's all natural. So anyway, for me, it was just this thing. About 6 years into sobriety, I remember someone standing up in a meeting and saying, there's a little bit of alcohol in NA beer.
I've heard that. Is that a myth?
And I was, no, there is. And I'm like, what? There's a little. And they're like, you can't drink NA beer. And they kind of jumped my shit in.
Really?
And I remember thinking, well, it's too late, dude. I've kind of already
Yeah.
All right, 6 years. I've been
past that. So I went and kind of talked to the people that brew, and they're like, there's as much alcohol as a banana. That's what they sort of say. So there's a trace amount. There's a trace amount of alcohol. It turns out in tons of things. In any place that has like a citrus flavoring, even like orange sodas or whatever, has a little bit of alcohol because citrus fruits have trace amounts of alcohol. So it is in our lives in a strange way.
Sure.
And so what I get, this conversation comes up with people in recovery a lot of, is this okay? Is this not okay?
Yeah.
And I always, my personal opinion is just like your sponsor is going to tell you, when you get sober, lots of things are going to feel uncomfortable and you just kind of want to try them and see if they work. I think non-alcoholic beer can be used as a great tool to go out and just make you like there's no question now. Why aren't you drinking? It's like, no, I'm sitting here having a beer with everyone and it's totally comfortable. So I don't think the alcohol is going to make you relapse. The beer might. Do you know what I'm saying? The idea of it.
But I understand that.
I don't think it's going to be the alcohol part.
Okay. Now, I'm glad you said that because I've always heard that about, well, there's actually, because they don't, you don't see like 10-year-olds walking around with NA beer, right? And there was always like, well, there's just a little bit. But, I mean, fuck, we put hand sanitizer on all the time. And
totally.
When I first got out of rehab, I would go and only use because I was scared to death of, I didn't want to do it anymore. And I was scared to death of anything that would derail my train. Yep. Which is probably why I decided never. I mean, I haven't. Yeah. People have asked me if I would smoke cigars, and I'm like, it's not that I'm like, so never say never. But I don't want to catch a buzz. If I smoked a cigar right now, I'd get higher than fuck. You know what I mean? I'd get that buzz.
It would hit you, yeah.
Right, and I'm just cool right now. But I would, when I first got out of rehab, only use that Hello Kitty hand sanitizer for the kiddos.
Because it doesn't have
pink
alcohol.
bottles. Yeah, right.
Wow.
And it's definitely not going to keep me alive with this fucking Corona shit going on.
Yeah.
Better just start using 100% Everclear, right?
That's funny. We take as a total side note, we take the alcohol out of our beer and we have it in big vats and we sell some of it and then they still it up. It's not our business, but we're like, can we make this into spray sanitizer stuff?
Yeah, no kidding.
Right now, just give it out there.
This
it's so crazy.
And I use now hand sanitizer, regular Purell, whatever they got, and I'm not. As far as I know, I'm not infected with the coronavirus.
But getting at a treatment is you don't really know, and you don't want to push it. And so I'm always like, if you even have the question in your head that you may or may not want, so I'm like, it's not worth it.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
There's no point in because we know it's a cunning, baffling, powerful thing, and that mind, you don't want to activate that. But so I always think if you're solid in your program. I know lots of people in the program. My guess is probably half the people I know will drink an NA beer and half won't.
Okay, that's a pretty good percentage.
About what it is.
And I appreciate your transparency because you're not coming on here like trying to sell your beer.
Oh, no.
Right? I think it's a great. We're all about finding tools and shattering that fucking myth that alcohol, what the disease does, what it does to your brain is make you think you can't live without it. Yeah. And so does the other drugs that we've talked about on the show and addictions that are out there. Whether you're addicted to, fucking sex or you're addicted to work, that stuff that's your brain saying you can't live without me, and hence the addiction. So when we heard about your, I know a guy that works at the not distillery, brewery, yes, that you guys brew your NA at. Yeah. I mean, all these light bulbs went off. I'm like, I gotta get him on a show. I want to hear his story. Yeah. I want to learn about your product. And I'm ready to try it one day. So sure. And it sounds like the key is it doesn't taste like shit.
No, right. It does.
Right.
So let me jump in real quick.
Please.
So I don't know. I probably didn't disclose this. So I do drink because I don't have that problem.
Yep.
But so I met you actually one time.
Okay.
It was a couple years ago, maybe even 3 years ago, New Year's Eve on Cherokee Street.
Okay.
And you were there.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you were just like trying to promote the beer at that point.
Yeah.
And I was
just
so happy.
Going. Yeah.
So happy because I was the DD for the night.
Oh, nice.
So I'm like, yes, I get to drink beer. And it was
fucking
good
responsible
beer.
over here.
Yeah,
the DD.
It was very good. I'm like, I could either buy a Red Bull for $5,
right,
or I could have this guy's free beer.
Yeah. That
you were just handing it out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
I do remember that.
So good.
Yeah, it is.
So good.
It is. Yes. And I was a beer drinker. That was my drug of choice, I guess.
Sure.
So I really, and you live in this town and you work in the business, and there's something so amazing about beer as far as just the connectivity, and it's been around forever, and there's nothing like it in culture, right? It's just a drink for, and it's adult.
That's a good point.
You know, it's very bonding, and so like that was great. And I knew that night when we were out sampling it, like I think we got something here.
Yeah,
like, people were getting really. Oh, this is really good. This
it
is
was
really
very, it's very good. And I haven't had it since then, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, you need the stronger stuff, right?
Well, I don't need it.
But it's funny.
Yeah, good one. So Jeff, start with you decided to make a career change, if you will.
Yeah,
and
do
pour
this.
and pour it all into
That's funny.
this product, if that's all right.
Yeah, no. As I was in this industry for a long time, so I'm got sober, hit my bottom at 24, March 13th. It was like almost of 1992.
Yeah.
Was my quit to sobriety date. When I
Okay.
quit drinking. So it's been a long time, but I immediately was in the marketing, spirits and beer marketing business just for years, right? And I was working on these things. So I was always out. I was always out at places and always around people who were drunk, drinking. I was always the designated driver. I was always the person getting people home. And it was totally a role that I would play. But when you go out and you don't drink, it's crazy how much of an afterthought you are, right? You're just
Interesting.
The bars, restaurants, they just don't even think you're not even on their radar. And yet I bet there's 30% of the population that just isn't drinking at any given moment in any given social situation. It's weird. So I knew that there was a market for this. And then the craft beer explosion happens,
right?
And like there's a million, and I love beer, and I'm like, why do I have to drink this? Surely there has to be a better way, man.
Fuck, just drink water.
Yeah.
Right. It's hard to order a water at a bar that's crowded now.
Yeah.
If you you got to get up first. You got to wait in line.
Yeah.
At these big ass bars or even the sporting events or concerts, and you finally get up there and like, I just need a water, and they look at you like you're fucking crazy, or rolling your balls off on. Whatever.
And restaurants, they didn't like that because you're like ordering Cokes all night. And so it was there was this huge change. Like if you offered something good to people who weren't drinking, a mocktail or a really good craft beer, they would buy it, and you would get the money, and they would feel better, and your experience would be better. So I knew there was a better way. I knew we could make some good beer. So just plunged into the entrepreneurial world.
I think you nailed it.
Which is. Like that's a whole thing. You want to like be scared every day or feel, start a business or something. So anyway, but I hooked up with O'Fallon, figured out how to brew the beer, brought in this piece of equipment from Germany where they were making great non-alcoholic beer. And basically what our thing does is you can ferment the beer totally. So you brew it just like you would normal beer. And then at the very end of the process, you put it in a vacuum, you lower the boiling point, boil the alcohol off at room temperature so it doesn't ruin the beer, and voila, you have really great craft beer. So the product itself is light years ahead. It's like, holy cow, this is a beautiful beverage, fully fermented, it's smooth, it's all the things that you want, just without the alcohol. So it's been great. And from the world of recovery, it's been great, but I also think we've hit a trend, and maybe I think more people are starting to be more mindful about their drinking. Yeah.
I think they are
than ever before. I just get this.
I would agree with that, actually, and I think part of it is the world of alcoholics and addicts. We're trying to expose that it's out there, that every family is connected to someone that is sick, that is struggling, that is drinking their life away or shooting up their life away, and we're kicking over those rocks where there's other options than just to be the fucking town drunk. So, I would agree that people are much more mindful about the amount that they're drinking as we're getting smarter about things. I mean, same thing applied for cigarettes. People used to, I used to smoke when I was shit-faced, and Winston Lights was my cig of choice, and then now, the numbers of smokers is rapidly declining.
Yeah, and I think alcohol. I don't know if it's going to go the way of smoking. I've heard people predict that it's just.
I think soda actually is going to go the way of smoking. I think
sugar sodas.
Yeah, I think in 15, 20 years, a guy I kind of look up to said this one time, and I totally subscribe to it, that like our kids are going to probably look back at generations that drank all that soda as we kind of look at our grandparents who are walking around fucking unfiltered cigarettes. I'm telling you, that soda shit's bad news.
Yeah. That's so
to your point too, I've even like the last 2 weeks, I've seen 2 friends on Facebook that are St. Louis people that, as far as I know, are not in recovery. They're just drinking less alcohol.
Yeah.
And one was tailgating at the Battlehawks game with WellBeing.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, a ton of it.
That's awesome.
And another one. And also, a lot of people do this, like Sober November or Sober January. Have you heard of these
Right,
things?
I've heard of Sober January.
And so my friend who was doing Sober January was just drinking NA beer.
Yeah.
Like tons of it at this concert we were at.
Did you give him one of Jeff's business
It's a big
cards?
time
Yeah.
of beer. It's a
Yeah.
big time of year for us.
Never heard
Yeah.
of Sober November. My birthday's in November, so
Oh, yeah.
I've forgotten a lot of Novembers.
That's funny.
Birthday
how
month.
long? How long do you have?
Almost 6 years, March
Okay.
25th.
And when you first got sober, the anonymity of the, I think more people are talking about it now than ever before. Just the whole world of sobriety, right?
I will say that when
Even-
when I got sober, I wanted to stand at the top of a mountain and
Tell
yell
everyone?
it.
Yeah.
But it was a unique voice because there was not a lot of people that did it. There were some people in front of me that really inspired me, but also because it's still we're still trying to shatter stigma.
Sure.
That it's okay to fucking ask for help.
Yeah.
That you don't have to do everything on your own. You can turn it over to God, and it's actually a fucking liberating feeling to
Yeah.
do that, man.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to stand on top of a mountain and say, guys, if I can fucking stop drinking, because people have said this, if Chris Pondoff can get sober, anybody fucking can. And I mean it. I'm telling you. I
You're
was
the poster boy.
the town guy to go get a drink with. There's
Yeah.
no question about
Yeah.
it. And it is good that people are much more mindful about their health and the shit that they're putting in their bodies. And it's not just the Bud Bowl. Like, remember all the Super
Sure.
Bowls and the Bud
Yeah.
Bowl? Like,
Yeah.
there's not 2 options. There's you can drink, and then like you said, with the craft beer explosion, which was just happening as I got sober. I remember back in 2007 when I was bartending at a tavern in Collinsville, the same one in Belleville. They opened one in Collinsville, but they wanted to be different. I mean, the one in Belleville, God bless it, isn't necessarily a canned beer tavern where you get guys drinking dollar cans all day, but it was an AB tavern, right?
Yeah.
With the tappers. So they opened the one in Collinsville and they wanted to make it more crafty. So they had a 13, what do you call it, head tapper.
Yep. Yep.
And all of them were craft and
yeah.
ales and IPAs. And I remember one that I would actually drink because I drank while I was bartending. I mean, that was
Really?
Oh yeah. Can you believe that?
I don't even believe it.
So I would, because I didn't want to just start drinking, Canadian blended whiskey. It was a long day.
Yeah, right out of the first gate.
I started drinking Bellhaven. You ever had Bellhaven or heard of it? It's a Scottish ale. It was
Okay.
like caramely, and I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
And that was my first introduction to a beer other than like a Bud Light or, in college, the Natty
Kind of a
Light
crafty
shit.
beer, yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. And so, I mean, I can see myself, and my cousin Mark at his restaurant says they sell the shit out of it. So they have at events, and you guys have done some partnering. And
Yep.
he told me the other day, I'm sorry for rambling, but he told me, he goes, these guys got some technology. They're going to blow this fucking market up. They're going to blow it up. And this was so funny. It was so timely. This was the conversation we had. And and that must have been what you were referring to about the Germany thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's big over there?
It's in Europe. This market is really big, and it's. I want to say I've heard it's like 10% of the beer market in Germany.
Those healthy
And
brats.
if you think about that, right?
crazy.
Now, first
In
they
Germany.
drink beer all the time. I mean, they drink beer for lunch. They drink beer all the
Right.
time. So you're like, okay, I could see this at lunch just being huge.
Yeah.
And they say now they drink it after workouts. They're like, this is what their Olympic team brought non-alcoholic beer to the Winter Games in Tokyo because it's an isotonic sports drink that it has full of polyphenols naturally, and it helps reduce inflammation in joints. And so
Wow.
it just when you take the alcohol out, all of a sudden there's this really healthy drink. Plus it's beer. Plus the Germans love it. Plus
Right.
they're in. So it was the hit of the Olympic Village because everyone could drink beer, but all these athletes were in training, and so they didn't want the alcohol. They just wanted to party. So
That's great because
it was really
somebody
interesting.
on this post on Facebook, they said, "Oh, great, all the calories, none of the fun." And I'm
Half
like,
the calories.
wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah,
That's-
so it's
if these
literally-
athletes are fucking drinking
You
it.
take
Yeah.
out half the calories when we take out the alcohol. So
That's-
our beer's like 68 calories, our wheat beer, 80 calories our dark beer. And that's, a normal IPA.
That's amazing because light beers,
180,
the light
Right,
beers are
right.
like 90 or 100
yeah,
calories.
light beers are 100
So
calories.
I was bartending when Ultra came
Yeah.
out, and that was all the rage.
90 some odd calories that
Uh-huh.
is. Yeah. So yeah, these are just
Guys were drinking
incredibly
18 of
healthy.
them. Yeah.
We put full dose of electrolytes into one of our beers like Gatorade. So we have a beer that has more electrolytes than Gatorade. That's truly a sports drink in this German Olympic tradition of there's no artificial flavors, no sugars, no, low calories, all natural, and it's a real sports recovery drink. And it's
Fuckers are gonna start drinking it for
beer.
breakfast.
Yeah, it's weird. I know. Why that? Yeah. So anyway,
Why not?
Why not? It's a beautiful
There
drink.
we go.
There's-
That's the next brew.
I know, and you. So for me, coming into this market, it's like I like this part of beer, but what else could it be? Because brewers put all kinds of things in beer. What could we make that was really healthy? And could we start to make this? This is better for you than soda. This is better for you
Yeah.
than energy drinks. This is better for you than anything that's got any processed anything in it. This is all natural from the start. So the big turn is. Yeah, what else could beer become in our world than just this alcohol
Something
thing?
to go get all fucked up on,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, because everyone, it's just universally accepted as this really wonderful drink to celebrate with and connect with. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see
So,
how it goes.
what are your top flavors or top
Yeah.
sellers? Do we share with that?
Sure. Yeah, we have one that came out. The second beer we had was called a Hellraiser, and it kind of put us on the map. It's this really nice hop forward dark amber. It's really delicious, really smooth. We sell a ton of that, and then we just came out. The Victory Wheat's the one that has the sports drink, and we sell a ton of that. We just came out January 1st, which is the time of year when everyone takes a little time
Oh,
off.
yeah.
Yeah.
New Year's resolutions.
Good marketing.
They're like, done. So January 1st, we put out this beer called the Intentional IPA, which is our first, the most popular craft styles in IPA. We had not made one yet, and we made everyone so far really likes it.
Really
So,
great.
yeah, and it's funny. I am the worst person to ask, is this good? Because I don't drink, so I don't
Right,
taste
yeah.
anything. I don't taste anybody else's beer. I have no idea if anyone else, how ours
Yeah.
are good. I like them, but I'm a party of one. But so I just am like, I hope everyone else drinkers like these, and we've gotten good feedback. So.
Nice.
Well, I mean, I've heard great things about you guys,
Yeah.
and especially in the as the food scene
Yeah.
has evolved, and I would say, and I could be classifying things incorrectly. I'm not Ian Frobe out of the Post Dispatch, but it's really you're seeing a lot of really quality restaurants have like crafty
Yeah.
menus and fresh ingredient menus, and it really is parallel to I think what you're doing with and what the IPA world kind of did, but now what you're doing with this,
Yeah.
your well-being stuff.
Yeah.
So
I think a beer at lunch is so great.
yeah,
I think it's hard to have that beer when you have to go back to work.
Right,
And
right.
now it's like, I can have a beer and taco at lunch, and it's just
Yeah.
it's like our time, and I love it. I think it's such a great thing you just feel like you've had. You can let off a little steam. You can just kind of have a lunch, and it feels great. And you got this beer to go with your food. It's not it's not a tea or a soda, and you get to go.
right.
So I think it's in your saying it goes really well with food.
Shit, what restaurants are charging now to like you get a lunch special somewhere, and
Yeah.
what they charge for soda and tea is outrageous.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially the tea that costs probably a penny to make and brew.
Right.
You're paying like $2.50 some places for
A
so that's
tea.
why I'll get a water. Because if I'm not, I don't want to. But if I'm
Yeah.
going to spend $2.50, $3 a restaurant adder, I mean, I'll
Have a nice beer.
Yeah.
I like it.
So that's in fact, I've been to I go to O'Fallon
Yeah.
where you're brewing.
Yeah.
I'm there for lunch quite a bit.
We're on
And,
tap, which is really funny to have a non-alcoholic beer
On tap.
Totally, it's delicious.
So
Now,
when
are you guys on tap at a lot of places?
We are in more so than ever before here in town. Chicago was a market that picked us up early, and it's a big tap market. So we sell a lot of. We're in, strangely enough, at a lot of places in Chicago. I just think they have a lot of tap bars up there. So
Right.
we end up doing really well up there.
So
That's awesome.
as far as distributing, you guys are brewed here locally in
Yep.
St. Louis.
Yep.
And how far's the reach gotten you? Just
We-
Chicago.
We were in Chicago, Nashville, Denver, all
Wow.
of Missouri, Wisconsin. But we sell, because we don't have alcohol in us, we can sell directly to retailers. We don't have to go through wholesalers. So we sell to Total Wine.
Okay.
And they put us in all their 200 stores in 22 states. And we
Nice.
sell to Bevmo, which is in California, and Specs in Texas. We also have a huge online store because we can ship. because we don't have alcohol in us. So
Nice.
we ship all over the country. So it's been great as far as it's strange. Yeah, you should have a business where we can be a national footprint.
Yeah.
Even though we're a local craft brewery. So yeah, it's been great. It's been great. And it's, I've met so many awesome people in our world,
Right.
since we started this thing. How great is it to just I get emails all the time from people who are like, you made our sobriety so much better because we finally feel like we can go out
That's
and
incredible.
just feel ourselves again, right? We can go out and enjoy something.
I bet that makes you feel fucking
Oh,
good.
I love it.
Yeah, man.
The woman I go to the Lindell Club, and
Okay.
the woman who works the Lindell Club desk, she's just was, how important it was for her to feel like she can go back out and hang out with her friends again.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
not drink. And like you have this thing, you just feel like you're part of the scene, and you don't have to drink, and it's like really cool.
Yeah, I've heard people tell me where they'll, they see me drinking club soda. It's actually because I do like it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people that don't drink will grab a club and lime just so people don't break their balls or chirp them for not drinking.
Right, yeah.
Because where I grew up, if you were a girl
And you weren't drinking.
and you were over 16, you were probably if you weren't drinking, you were pregnant, right?
totally.
I mean, that's a real thing.
It's a real
for sure.
I do it anytime. I still do it anytime one of my girlfriends is like
I'm
not
not
having a drink.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
like,
like,
oh, what's going on? How far along are we? It must be before 12 weeks, because that's now the time to tell everybody. Because
Oh, my goodness.
yeah. So,
Right.
but that's a real thing, and
So do you go out a lot? Do
all
you guys-
the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're out
I
all
mean,
the time.
it's decreased since our we have a 6-year-old, so that takes up a little bit of our
course.
time. You can still find me at Fridays in Belleville all the time, drinking club soda.
Yep.
And Olive and Oak, obviously, because
well, that's one of the finest places.
I mean,
Come on. If you can go hang
a
out
great
there,
place.
that's cool.
I'm objective. It's the best burger in the city, but that's objective, not subjective.
Right.
It really is. But
is.
yeah, I mean, and then in Webster, Ashley and I like to go down to Frisco, which is a pretty cool restaurant. But yeah, I love going. I get a little, I guess, bored. The drunks around me are funny for a little bit, but I'm like, man, I'm not ready to go home. I'm
Yeah.
not closing down taverns like I used to.
No.
Titty bars.
My
and all that
rule
shit.
is when you hear the same story twice,
Yeah.
from somebody, you're like, check, please.
Yeah.
Yep, all right. God, that happens so much.
Doesn't it?
Oh my God.
When you get sober, you realize how annoying drunk people are.
Yes.
Right?
You do. Then you start like, man, I must have been really bad.
You look back and like, oh.
So
So
Jeff,
bad.
you said you used to do a recovery podcast.
did.
How about that?
I did, and I love this space, and we had a lot of fun. It was called Since Right Now. I did it with 2 friends, and I was the 12-step guy,
Okay.
and then my other 2 friends were sober but weren't into the 12 steps. And I always thought, I don't know if you're a 12-step guy.
I'm
Little.
not 100%. It's funny. So I
But you
didn't
have the
work.
A.
Yeah.
You pulled an A out of the.
Kind of a hybrid between
hybrid.
PAA and NA.
Yeah.
And sometimes that A stands for asshole, but I didn't necessarily go religiously. I used the church that I go to, the Gathering in St. Louis.
Yep.
I used the
So this was part of your recovery.
absolutely. I mean,
More so-
absolutely. When I
okay.
got sober,
Yeah.
I'd known the lead pastor, Matt Miofsky, for quite some time.
Who's awesome.
Yeah, I love him.
He's
and,
an awesome guy.
I hope he didn't hear me say that because he's fucking.
Go right to his head.
Oh my God! And then, but he had a role, man, and keeping me accountable and plugging me into places in the church to make sure that I was having a social network that was keeping me accountable. My friends back home as well, but it was real important. And I watched him walk the walk with our family prior to me getting sober, so I knew if I ever turned my fucking life over, I had a home. So
And you were religious or spiritual before.
I was. I always say that I was a. I feared Jesus more like when my previous life, like I knew I'd have some fucking answering to do, right?
Yeah.
But through the sobriety journey and through this church, I realized that Jesus is all about love, man, and
Yeah.
and
That's cool.
grace and mercy, and for
Yep.
those of people like me that are
Little broken.
unworthy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say a little broken.
A little
is an
broken when you come in
understatement.
here.
But it's changed my life, so I use that. But
Yeah.
I knew AA was there, and I carried a printout, and I just talked about this with Megan. who was on 2 weeks ago, I had that in my briefcase wherever I went, and it listed like every fucking meeting in the city.
Yeah.
And it was like, I mean, it's like the Xanax bottle I have in my car that I'm prescribed, by the way, for those of you listening. But I haven't taken one in probably 6 months after I got sober, so about 5.5 years.
You just have it there.
I have it there,
Just, you never know.
and we talked about this on one episode. It's just a security blanket. If I
Like behind glass, you can smash the hammer through and
yeah, we call that like an EPO button, right? The emergency power off, and shuts down the data center. But anyway, different life. So I worked. I didn't work the program, but I found myself going back to your 12-step comment. I found myself just. My life I was living was working those steps anyway, because it's so based in spirituality, right?
It's well, they got the 12 steps from the greatest spiritual thinking known to man at the time.
Yeah, right.
And they just kind of incorporated them right into the 12 steps, and a lot of it was right out of the Christian playbook.
I mean, right there, and and that's why
they delve really well together.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Somebody has asked me that before, and I'm like, well, no, but I really kind of just did a step 9 again, or something.
Exactly.
I had to apologize to somebody who came out of the woodwork.
Yeah. At some point, you have to surrender, right? And that's
I did that
either way.
The first day I checked into rehab, I was on that cold floor, man, and I gave it all to fucking God.
That's right.
After a screaming match with him, I lost miserably. Yeah, but maybe I won in the long run.
Maybe you did. Yeah, and that's it, right? You surrender and then turn it over.
How'd the recovery podcast go?
It was great. So we and it was funny because I had a friend. We did it when one of our friends went on a relapse, and my other friend who was not in the 12 steps was like, "How do I help this person?"
Yeah.
And in the 12 steps, you realize that you can't really help anyone as far as making them be sober. You can let them go on their whatever they're going to do, and then just be there when they get there. But this guy wanted to help. So he said, I'm going to start this podcast. And it was right at the time when I think digital recovery was starting to just find a voice. And, before no one talked about it. And then there was a lot of people writing. It just kind of happened as the world of digital kind of took off. So we did it for 5 years. And I think the whole idea of the show is I always thought you could only get sober one way. And boy, was I wrong. We went to smart recovery meetings, and we went to rational recovery meetings. And we went to the Buddha one that guy started. And so the whole idea was we went to the march in Washington, D.C. and we went to AA stuff, and we went to conventions and just tried to make it a thing.
Sure.
And, I think the whole journey just made me realize how just to hear what you just said, it's like, oh, there's a lot of ways that people get to this point, and who cares how you do it, right? It's just trying to support all that because it's so important.
That's why I asked. What I see in common with all the different ways are people with open fucking arms, ready to help when you're ready to help yourself.
Yep.
And we preach this, pardon the pun, at this church a lot about, and Jeff and I, it's a recovery podcast, it's a mental health podcast, wellness, hope. We're trying to shatter loneliness at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And community and finding people that care, like community is so fucking powerful.
Yeah.
And you get that when you go to a meeting. You get that when you find a recovery group. That's why it's called a recovery group, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't work that program, but I also did intensive outpatient IOP cognitive group therapy.
Oh yeah,
with led by a social worker.
Yeah,
and I did that for 6 to 12 months, maybe like 9 months. I think is how long I did it until I was able to maybe kind of start shedding it.
And that's not a 12-step thing. It's a different theory.
Yeah, it was at a place called ARCA, Assisted Recovery Center of America, and it wasn't they would tell you try to go to a meeting if you're feeling urges, but no, it was you sit around it with other addicts.
Yep.
And there's a group discussion facilitator. It was a social worker at this place, and I found those I didn't miss them. I found them I looked forward to going to group.
Yeah.
You ended up becoming each other's support system, accountability system, fucking therapist, listener. You listen to, and then you hear people's shit they're living with, and the rock bottom of theirs that doesn't look like yours, but you realize you're not alone.
Yeah.
And it's life-saving, because people that are lonely, that revelation is is life saving, and no bullshit there, no drama. That's for real.
Yeah.
And I think I see that as the common theme in all these groups. That, and then in my opinion, turning it over to God and just saying, "Here, man, I can't do this shit on my own."
Yeah. Take it, I don't want it. That was my mantra my first year. Take this, I don't want it. Take this, I don't want it. I would say that all the time about everything.
Yeah, man, I
said
like
it
that.
a million times, and I say it still. Take this, I don't
It's
want it. Take this, I don't
freeing,
want it.
isn't
Yeah,
it?
it truly is. It truly is. But that's interesting that I love the thread that you've tied all of this together with this loneliness, because you're right, the power's in the group. Regardless, you find whatever way is going to work, but it's being with other people that are walking it with you, regardless of what the actual program is. It's
Right.
this fellowship or the group. That's the thing. So the fact that you've identified loneliness is the thing that you really
That's
started this.
What Jeff and I
to
are
prevent.
trying to beat down with hammers, man. Because
Wow. It's just isolate, which is what you want to do, right? You just want to
Absolutely.
isolate.
for sure.
It's right.
on
You wanna go
both
hide.
sides, because like I kind of come at the mental health
Yeah.
part. That's where my voice is on this podcast.
Okay.
Hey, we
But it's
said
this-
earlier he's a liberal, right? So he's I'm kidding. I'm
Okay,
kidding.
Chris. Anyway, but yes, so it's the same thing though. Like
Yeah.
when you're in the depths of depression,
Yeah.
your go-to is to be alone.
Yeah.
To wallow in it
Oh,
and to
yeah.
be away from people. So yeah, you're right. It's all in there too. It's in the
Yep.
addiction, and it's in depression, and it's in
And they're both so cross, right? Depression and alcoholism are just.
I
Yeah.
mean,
drug
yeah,
addiction, like,
it's
all the same.
Yeah.
Or
show me an
they're-
alcoholic that doesn't have depression. That's
Truly.
you know what I
Right.
mean.
Yeah.
Show me that, and then I'll tell you that maybe they're not correlated, right? They got to be. I've never met an alcoholic that didn't have some bouts of depression,
Yep.
anxiety, name that mental health issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's for the addiction or the addiction too. The user, the
Mm-hmm.
IV user, the pain pill addict.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and it's funny, beyond our beers, and there's a very specific thing about the beers, are the idea when, as a brand marketer, you try to figure out what your brand stands for, what you're about, and what is important to you. And a lot of what we are about and is important to me is exactly this. It is a well-being thing, and mental health is a huge part of that. And I think, we started with trying to help people raise their well-being in the industry, bartenders, and
Sure.
and those people are under the gun all the time. There's depression and alcoholism are rampant in that industry, right? And
The light bulb just went off.
right, and you've been there. The
Oh,
shift drinks and
absolutely.
it's like, and at a certain point you're like, it's your career.
Absolutely.
You go there all the time. This is how you make money, and then you gotta this isn't good for you
Yeah.
anymore.
I know two
Right?
types of bartenders.
Yeah.
Those that drink a lot or those that are in recovery.
Yeah, right?
I mean, really.
That's so interesting.
Like a lot of times if I'm sitting down airport lounge or a bar somewhere and not trying to age discriminate or anything, but if the bartender is, 50 or older, you ask, what's your drink of choice? Well, I don't drink anymore. And I wonder, you always wonder the miles on the tires there.
Yeah.
Because that's what I see more often than not. There's always exceptions, right? But it is funny you bring that up
Yeah.
because, I mean, you gotta do a shot with the patron.
Always.
Yeah,
so
especially if
crazy.
you're trying to show off in front of this blonde that's ordering a shot. I'll do one with you, baby. You gotta do it, right?
Yeah. Our head sales guy came to me the first night we launched. His name's Tom Halaskin. He won't mind me using his name, but he ran Sasha's for a long time, and he was been involved in a bunch of. But he's sober since that night. And it's been 2 years for him. He hasn't drank, and he's been our
Congratulations.
biggest advocate as far as someone who really understands the mental health strains of people in the industry. And you're right. It's like you're either a heavy drinker or you've gotten sober as a bartender. But I never thought about it like, this is your career. It's not like you own a bar,
Right.
or whatever. This is your career. You drink every night. It's such a you got to shoot with all the customers, and so it's been great to have our beers been the shift drinks and those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And really get out there and say, hey, you don't have to do this anymore, right?
Yeah, and it sounds like the beers you guys are brewing have some health qualities to them as
Yeah.
well, which
Yeah,
is really
yeah.
cool. I didn't know that coming into this.
That they're very healthy for you.
I had heard stories from Jeff and Matt and my cousin Mark, but I didn't know that you guys had
Yeah.
beers. And
Really
Jeff brings
pushing
up a
that.
good point. Somebody did make that smart ass
Right.
comment, which
Yep.
I'm not judging. I make smart ass comments all day, every day, but. it's not empty calories, right? There's actually shit in there that is good for your mind and your well-being.
Totally.
Right? Hence the name.
Well, yeah, it always struck me when one person gets sober, 10 people's lives get better.
Really?
Right? And you think
makes
about
sense.
that.
That's
Like
absolutely 100% true.
when you got sober, how many lives got better?
I love that.
Everyone around you, right?
Everyone. I mean,
it's amazing.
that's the takeaway of the interview, because that is so fucking right.
Yeah.
And accurate. And
Yeah.
I always say that alcoholism addiction is not the disease of the addict. It's the disease of the entire family. And that family doesn't mean just your blood related. It means the people that fucking love you, your community.
Yep.
Because every one of them carries around the stress of your alcoholism or addiction.
Yep.
Carries around the worry, the anxiety. That's what they go to work, their regular job with. They come home, they go to fucking t-ball practice with their kids with. They're in the back of their mind are worried about you.
Yeah.
So when you get sober, that frees them all of that shit.
Isn't that crazy?
That is nuts. I love that.
Yeah. And that was one of those things that struck with me. And I think I heard it when we were doing the podcast from somebody. And when this business to me is about that. If we can get the world to drink a little bit less, it's like, wow, we truly are raising well-being. And if we can get people to stop drinking, or well, it's like all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, you really are raising the planet's well-being, because the factor is so much greater when you don't have to worry about your
couldn't have picked a better name.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys are locally at can we get well-being at grocery stores, liquor stores, Total Wine you mentioned?
Yep. And so it's weird, because if you're in recovery, you don't go down the beer aisle. If you're like
Right.
I never went to liquor stores for however long, so I'm starting to realize, yes, there's sections in most liquor stores for NA beers, and they've gotten better. And all over town, people have been very, very supportive of us. So they've literally have sections now, and I think liquor stores are like, oh yeah, but this whole industry's changing, right? And we need to really start to cater to people who aren't drinking, but they're adults and they want to have something fun. So they've really done a nice job of separating these into non-alcoholic sections, which is awesome. So we're at all the liquor stores and grocery stores, and more restaurants, more and more restaurants like Olive and Oaks, who are just, they get it. Mark gets it. He's like, I get it.
Yeah, he's got a drunk fucking cousin. That
and
Everybody's got a...
And
everybody has a Chris Pond up in their family.
Yeah, but I want my experience of everyone who comes in here, drinking or not drinking, to be great. I want to have their experience be great. And why do I want to just serve them water? They're having food with a pairing of something, and this is what you're here for.
Yep.
To have this thing happen with your meal, and you're like, oh, that makes so much sense.
Sure. Well, that's cool, Jeff. I really appreciate you coming in and sitting down with us. And I hope we can do it again. I want to hear more about your guys' experience with the podcasting and journey. And
well, I'm excited that you're in episode 13.
Oh.
It's awesome, and you're starting to do. It's great. And,
I appreciate that. It's been,
and you guys have a big idea of stopping loneliness and all that. I mean, that's good for you.
It's a goal. I have decided to do this after some nudges, and after we lost a friend that I could have wallowed away and said fuck it all, fuck the Pound Anonymous mission, or instead I was surrounded with good people that said you need to use this, you need to use this and get like Miofsky said, what's next? And so that's. Jeff and I got connected by some
awesome.
other God shit, and now here we are.
Yeah.
And I have my passion for this, and for meeting people like you, Jeff, and people that are reaching out for help and saying that the podcast is helping. My passion is fucking extinguishable to do that, and it's becoming a little bit of a problem because that's all I think and eat and breathe right now, and I'm going to bed every night usually. Emailing back and forth with somebody that's looking for help or that's on the brink of maybe thinking about making a change, and when somebody that recently that I kind of gave him a nudge with a team, he had a good team around him. I was a part of that team, and just got the text and the picture of his 1 year sober chip.
Nice.
I mean, fuck, man,
that's
it's better
awesome.
than sex. Not well, yeah. I mean, it's good. It's good. It feels great.
Yeah,
it's
right up there. It's really close.
So Jeff Stevens, no relation to Kevin Stevens, the former Stanley Cup winner for the Pittsburgh Penguins?
No, or Steve Stevens, the guitar player for Billy Idol. No relation to either one of those.
Coincidentally, Kevin Stevens got caught with the hookers and crack in Caseyville.
Oh my gosh.
My favorite story.
On
I
a road
remember
trip.
that.
Yeah.
From the New Jersey Devils, and you're like, and I remember talking about that in a meeting, just like, oh, dude.
And they showed his picture. They put it was like on a road trip, and man,
he's over on the east side, in a hotel bar, holed up for 12 hours, hookers and crack. And you're like,
YOLO, man.
There are not very many
There
good
you go,
hotels
Kevin
for
Stevens.
that. Well, there's a lot of good hotels for that.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do.
That was a
On the east side.
that was like, man, I should have been partying with Kevin Stevens back then. But yeah, so you hear stories from like his teammates like Rick Tocchet and other guys.
Yeah.
He was it was bad for him. I still don't know how he's turned out, but he was a hell of a fucking hockey player, and I grew up playing hockey my whole life,
Did
so
you?
I'm a
He was a hell of a hockey player.
Yeah, he's a couple rings with Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
and he dropped the mitts every once in a while and stand in front of the net, take a beating, and next thing you know, the puck's in the back of your net. So I knew you weren't related, but you never know. Fuck's a
never
small
know.
world.
Speaking of-
he
is-
could use some
Uncle
well-being
Kevin,
brews,
that's right.
right?
Is
That's right.
well-being in any of the stadiums yet?
I have been told that we are going to be in Busch Stadium this summer.
Wonderful.
For the Cardinals, and I hope that's true. We
Yeah.
are distributed by major brands. I'm sure I know there's a lot to go through to get that done,
Yeah.
and they tell me that that's going to happen. And a lot of people ask, and I'm like, yeah, this is great. The seventh inning, after they quit selling alcohol.
That's
a
great fucking idea,
there's
Jeff.
2
Yeah.
whole innings.
You
Go
are
have
in
a
this
beer.
marketing world,
Yeah.
aren't
I
you?
know.
That's
Like,
awesome.
Yeah.
Go have.
Well, there's a whole craft beer wall
bizarre.
there. They've got so many
Yeah.
taps to fill.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, put it in there. Why
I
not?
know, and I hopefully we are going to be in there, and I think because if
They tried out this fucking lineup. People are gonna need some well-being brews. I mean, they haven't done shit.
You're,
Shots fired, Cardinal Nation.
First take right here.
Here come the
Not
shit.
happening.
Yeah.
That was a hot take.
That was a really hot take.
Burning up in here.
Well, that came out of nowhere.
Oh,
This
man.
lineup is going to lead you to drink.
Yeah. So, well-being can be found anywhere in St. Louis. What's your website, Jeff?
WellBeingBrewing.com.
We'll put that. Could you mind? We'll put it on the show notes.
Please do, and it's got all the locations that right on the website if you're having trouble finding it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and if you see me, find me. I'd love to buy you a well-being.
There
Yeah.
you go.
That's awesome.
That's
Well-
how I tried it. He bought me a well-being.
And
That's right.
you were a big fan.
I loved it. It was so good. It must have been your first beer.
It was.
What was it?
It was a Heavenly Body. I remember that. It
Yeah.
was still. Those are literally our first brew. Mm-hmm. And the first time I tasted off the line, having been a not NA drinker, like all this stuff's so bad, but I tasted this. I'm like, oh, this is really good.
Yeah.
I was very excited. I still remember that. Like, I think we got something here.
Well, I'm gonna give it a shot. I want to try the Victory
Do
wheat and
yeah. I'll drop some by.
All right,
Because
that'd be great.
you'll it's a different kind of thing. I think you'll be good with
Sure.
it.
No,
Yeah.
I'm confident enough where
Yeah.
I'm at.
Yeah.
And I mean,
And it's a 0-0 beer. It
so
has nothing.
See, hook me up. I'm gonna. I have a liquor cabinet at home. I've celebrity bartended, quote unquote. I just did the air quotes at the tavern in Belleville.
Yeah.
I've spilt Ruppelmans on my hand and did start licking my hand and.
You're okay. Well, it's weird. You can't, and I get it. When you're first in recovery, you want to avoid playmates and
Super.
playthings and all those things. I get it. But at some point, you cannot avoid alcohol. It's
Okay.
everywhere.
And I'll tell you,
It's just everywhere.
my confidence
Yeah.
and realization, like you said earlier, when I would go out and be perfect and great and not need a drink,
Yeah.
I just was like, I can do this life. I can
Yeah.
fucking do it.
Yeah.
And before I got sober, would have punched you in the face if you would have suggested it, or laughed and pissed my pants laughing like there's no way
Yeah.
I will die with a drink in my hand.
How long did you go through a bunch of iterations of this, or did you get sober? You were so bad and just boom, you got it, or did you have to like?
One
bang
of the
your-
lucky ones. I went to rehab one time.
Got it done, okay.
Never wanted to go back.
That's awesome.
And so that was March 25th of 2014.
Holy cow!
Yeah, I'm getting
coming
close,
up.
Getting close.
Like 10 more days.
Yeah, I hope
It's
I
pretty
make
exciting.
it. No, I'm at 2176 is the amount of days I am at.
Okay.
So not that I'm counting.
No, who would be?
Right.
How would you know that? Congratulations,
Jeff, thanks a lot.
Yeah,
man.
my pleasure.
I'm real excited to drop this episode, and we will we'll share your information so people know where to get WellBeing Brewing. And
Thank you very much.
I'm looking forward to giving it a whirl myself.
Cool.
So God bless you, man.
All right.
Thanks for coming. We appreciate it.
Sir.
Thank you,
And
Jeff.
as always, guys, thanks for listening. If you need help, if you're at the bottom of the barrel, for lack of better terms, rock bottom, approaching, know someone, please reach out. Me and Jeff cannot say it enough. We're really gaining some steam with the podcast and people and who it's reaching, and as that happens, we just start getting more and more resources to direct people to, and we're always willing to listen. We're praying for you in the meantime, but if you guys are struggling or know somebody that is, please shoot us an email. Reach out to us on Facebook at Pond Offs Anonymous. Go to our website, www.pondoffsanonymous.com. Jeff's is
www.wellbeingbrewing.com.
And you just reach out. We're here for you. I promise. All right. That'll do it, guys. Thanks a lot. And as always, let us pray.
If you're struggling or know someone that is, please have them check out our podcast and reach out to Chris or me. We want to listen, and we're super eager to help. Pond Offs Anonymous is Chris Pondoff and produced by me, Jeff Allen. Our music is Anti-Hero by McCall and Gentle Waters by Wild Wonder. For more information, visit pondoffsanonymous.com. Find us on Facebook and Instagram.